Gym Bros podcast here. We've got Paul.
Yo.
We've got Josh.
Yo.
Big Bryn. Tate.
Yo. He looks like an ice gem today.
And we've also, it's like a fucking ice gem. And we've got our guest today, Matt.
Hello.
He's got his own mic.
So anyway, what we're here today to do is talk about Matt's journey from side hustler to accomplished businessman.
Yeah, so pleasure to be on here, lads. Thank you for having me.
Welcome. You're welcome.
So my name's Matt, otherwise known as Ragnar or EauDeRagnar on TikTok. I am a fragrance creator who turned the passion side hustle into my full-time thing. So I was a fragrance creator and now turned perfume manufacturer. And I'm here with the Gym Bros. Thank you again for having me, boys. To answer any questions you might have for me.
So, one of the things, so we started doing this section last month and we had a guy on and we wanted them to tell their story about how you went from, because I've obviously known you for quite a long time, how you went from being like a normal Joe with a normal 9-to-5 job to your journey to your side hustle that you then progressed into what is now how you make your living.
Yeah.
So we kind of wanted to hear about yourself. So how did you get started?
So the reason I actually started TikTok, I used to be very against TikTok, to be honest. The reason I started was to encourage my mate, Brad, who you're familiar with.
Yeah.
To start publicising his music. He's a very talented musician. He wanted to put himself out there. He's a bit concerned about internet trolls. So I thought, right, okay, I'll show you it's not all doom and gloom. What can I do? I had a small but decent fragrance collection. I thought I'd just post videos about fragrance reviews. Started doing it, got a little bit of a following, and figured out I enjoyed it. That took me up to December. I started in May. And in December, I got sacked from my normal job on Christmas Eve, 4 o'clock in the morning, of all times.
Wow.
Yeah,
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, I know.
Have a good one, mate.
So it was a bit, I'd been there for a long time. All my friends were there. I got a new job. I was working nights throughout that time. You're talking 4 years on night shift, and I thought, I can't do this anymore. I can't do it. And at that point, I was on 22,000 followers. And I thought, right, I need to monetize this. How can I, just sustain myself from doing this? So I started selling fragrance decants, which are like testers that you get in the store.
Yeah, so for anyone that doesn't know what it is, just explain to them basically what a decanter is.
Yeah, so a decanter is basically a 2 to 10 ml little atomizer. When you buy your perfume in the shop, they will give you testers for free. That is a decant. So I started decanting my collection because it's inaccessible for many people. So a lot of niche fragrances and Louis Vuittons and this kind of thing. I figured, people see me talking about them might not want to go out to the way to a major city to try them, so I can send it to them directly instead.
Yeah. And there's a cost. Like some of these fragrances you've got, like Louis Vuitton.
Oh yeah, you're talking
300 quid.
Yeah, 300, 400,
So
500
there's a
pounds
cost
per bottle. Yeah.
Cost involved. So whereas they can get the fragrance, they can buy the little sprays from you for a fraction of the price.
Yeah, it's ideal for say like a wedding. You don't want to
Yeah.
pay $3.20 for Ombre Nomad. Order a £7 decant, and that's going to do you for the day or for the week. So I started doing that, and that went from strength to strength. I released my first fragrance, which was called Ragnar's Legacy. Sorry, my phone's not on silent. And that sold really well. So then I released a second called Legacy Oud. That also sold really well. And during this time, so we're talking throughout a 12-month process here, from when I decided, right, I'm going to go full-time at this. It went from strength to strength because I had more time to put into the content, to the TikTok and stuff. My channel started growing. And now we come to where we are now. So my stuff, this is my bottle there. This is Notorium. This is my flagship. This is made...
demonstrated with grace and finesse.
Finesse. This is made by the second biggest manufacturer in Asia, in the Middle East. I can't disclose who, but they are a household brand. And I got in touch with these from, you might have seen the content from some of my business partners when we went out to Dubai. And, it went from strength to strength, basically, from one thing to another. So taking that initial plunge, it could have failed, it could have worked. Taking that initial plunge, it went from strength to strength. And I've learned as I've gone along, to be fair. I'm not, what Warren Buffett or anything like that. I've learned as I've gone along what people want. And, because I'm passionate about it, it allows me to sort of give it 100% attention. It's not just a money maker. Do you know what I mean? I am passionate about making people smell nice and such. yeah, now to the current day, I've just hit 101,000 followers on TikTok. I've got 3 fragrances under my brand, which is Luminary Fragrances. We're working on the 4th now. That's being produced in the Middle East as we speak. And it's all going really well, man. I'm excited to see what, the rest of 2024's got to bring for us.
It's a good story. Like I say, it's one of them, you were kind of, some people struggle to make that jump into going, they want to go and do something of their own and follow a passion project. You were kind of had your hand forced.
Yeah.
Because obviously you lost your job. And it just shows that with a bit of hard work and determination that that was the right thing to happen for you. You made it work. What would you say, from your point of view, are the biggest challenges that you've faced since you decided to focus on the social media and pushing it and developing your own brand? What are the biggest challenges that you've come up against?
Challenges, I'd say competition. Now, competition in business is always very healthy. That's what makes businesses thrive. But in the fragrance niche, in the perfume world, it is very bitchy, so to speak. So, like I mentioned,
fitness industry.
Yeah. So like I mentioned to yourself outside, if I say one thing, that's too open, somebody will click into what that is, and somebody will rip that idea off. In terms of social media, not actually a lot. I'd say, if anything, the biggest task is creating new content. You can recycle content, but there's only so much you can recycle. So I don't know if you saw on Wednesday, I flew to France for a bottle of perfume.
Okay.
That's the level of content that I'm on now, because it's not being done. It's original, it's unique, it's interesting. So from a social media aspect, I'd say it was that, to be honest with you. And then, your small things like keeping up with messages. Sometimes my inbox, there's over 500 messages. I can't possibly answer everybody back. So some people will take, he's an ignorant fucker or whatever. That's not the case. So from a social media side of things, it's that. From a business side of things, I would say it's ideas. Perfume, men's aftershave. There's 1,000,001 bottles already done. There's 1,000,000 different types. So it's coming up with something that people want, trying to make it the best thing for the most reasonable price, which is part of the reason why I get my stuff done in the Middle East. I mean, Paul's familiar with my work. I don't know if Bryn and Josh are, but I specialise in a lot of dupe fragrances that are from the Middle East that provide an affordable alternative to people who might not necessarily afford to go out and spend £200-300 on the real product. In the Middle East is a place where you can get it done. So I'd say it was that more than anything. But touch wood, luckily I've not had any major wall that I've hit yet where I've been like, oh shit. So it's not been smooth, but it's been as smooth as it can be relative compared to a lot of other people that initially start up.
And what would you say, what has been people's opinion, like the people that are around you, your friends, your family, when you decided to make this? Because what you've done is something like out of the norm.
Yeah.
You've basically taken to social media and you've turned it into a career, which is quite prevalent nowadays, but I think it still comes with stigmas attached to it. What was kind of the attitudes that you were getting, the feedback you're getting from people around you? Were they positive, negative, supportive?
Mixed bag.
Yeah.
So when I first started making content before I'd monetized it and, it was my full-time thing, obviously people were taking the piss. Like, oh, come and buy this aftershave off me, people at work, having the crack. Yeah. A lot of it was said in jest, but there was some people that were genuinely just trying to take the piss.
Jealousy.
Pretty much, mate, yeah.
You're doing something that you enjoy, and they're fucking in the rat race.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You get it. We fucking spoke about it, haven't we? Jealous people. But
yeah. I mean, the world's full of them. So, mixed bag, but then, my best mates and my family, for the most part, to be fair, there's only been one family member that's been anywhat negative, and they got cut out of my life because of it. But, yeah, my family have been dead supportive, to be fair. They love what I do. They're always sharing things on social media. And so on, because it's different as well, I think.
Yeah.
You look at me, I look like somebody that sells something very different to perfume. Honestly. No, but I am well aware of what I look like. Do you know what I mean? I'm not wrong though, am I?
Fucking baby powder.
You know what I mean?
Fucking hell.
So yeah, but when they say, oh no, he sells perfume,
Yeah.
It's different for some people. So yeah, the reaction's been pretty good, to be fair. I'd say the worst is from, again, it comes to jealousy, trolls online. Yeah. I get loads of them, but it doesn't bother me because it's like, go eat your super noodles, bro. I'm trying to do something with my life here. Do you know what I mean?
We were talking about this before. Like it's like I said to you, didn't I? That you'll get negativity from people, and then in the reality of it is what you're doing is you're just following your dream, your passion, and doing something you enjoy. In the grand scheme of things, you're not really that amazing. Like, no offense, not just a normal guy that's turned their passion into a living. But what it is you've generated enough hate out there for someone to take time out of their day. Their life is so boring and so mundane that they can't bear to see someone doing something that they love and enjoy, take the time out of day to give you a negative comment or to try and wind you up or get a reaction from you. Yeah. Who's the sad one? Like, you're obviously you're doing well. You're doing what you love, and they're doing something they probably hate for 8-9 hours a day, and the highlight of their day is being able to make you a sad individual, very sad individual.
Yeah, I fully agree, and I read a lot of Stoic philosophy, and this is originally why I started TikTok anyway, to prove the point to me mates. Like, bro, it's not that bad, man. People are going to hate. You could be, a philanthropist and you could give millions and billions and trillions to charity, and somebody out there will say you should have given £1 more. You're never going to please everybody. Yeah. Some people just, negativity is just their love, and it's just one of those things, part of life. And
it is. I usually say to you, you can run into a house that's on fire and save the mum, the dad, the family pets and everything, and someone will go, oh yeah, but you didn't bring the TV out.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You're never going to please everyone, are you?
No.
Well, we didn't rescue that TV though, did he? Let that go.
Yeah, I fully agree.
So did obviously everyone's got fucking aftershave and shit like that, and obviously I know it was a bit more of a passion, but where did that go from just buying aftershave and liking the smells to actually delving into the actual intricacies and the scents and the notes and the tones? Is that something you've already done?
Have you watched then? So you are actually very knowledgeable. Yeah. And that's why I'm asking the fucking question. Because I've watched loads of his fucking shit. The prick doesn't follow me back though. So I have to admit, so I used to be like really into like fragrance and stuff, and then I stopped for a while. I just had a few.
Paul's a nerd, everybody.
And then I started watching your content, and then you do recommend. So you don't just focus on the dupes, you do recommendations and stuff.
Yeah.
And my collection is like, you're responsible for a couple of £1,000 worth of spend because his recommendations are bang on. And I've even messaged you when I've been going away and saying,
I remember
I'm going away and I'm looking for a different fragrance, and you made some recommendations. So your knowledge and your recommendations are bang on. So where did that kind of come from?
So I'll take it back. So when I was working nights, my ex-missus at the time, she bought me a bottle of Moschino Toy Boy. And I got in from work, it'd been on my side for a couple of weeks, after Christmas, and I smelt it and I was like, somebody's made that, how? And I kept smelling it, and it I don't know, it sort of sparked something in my mind. So I went on and, built this big collection. I've got about 220 bottles now that's been built over the time, like. And then I was like, right, I want to sort of research more into this. So I started watching other creators, perfumers, and then speaking to people, just networking that are in the industry, perfumers as well, to learn about aroma chemicals, how certain things work, and networking with big brands who very, very fortunately, allowed me into their facility when I went to Dubai and explained to me in depth, this is how this works, this is how that works, and so on. Because I feel like, in the fragrance niche, I mean, you've probably seen it. People will go into a shop, they'll pick a bottle up and say, you should buy this. They'll put it back and they'll fuck off.
Yeah.
But I feel like if I'm, a perfume manufacturer manufacturing my own stuff and then making recommendations and saying, you should put this on your skin, I should at least have an idea of what's in it. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Especially my own products, I should at least know. I'm not a chemist by any means. I'm not Walter White. But, some sort of knowledge of what's in my own products, I should know. So it was something that I felt was morally right, so obviously go and learn about. And then something else, again, I'm further interested in, because when you dive into the science of it, like, how is this made? It's interesting how different atoms and aroma chemicals will bind together, and how a perfumer, as an example, a perfumer's nose can identify between 2,000 different individual scents. And that to me is that's mad.
And that's probably something that people are unaware of. They just will like a scent, and they'll go and buy it. Yeah, I like the smell of that. They have no comprehension of
the work that's gone into
it, the science behind it.
Yeah. It's like a wine taster, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Like a
Yeah,
wine
perfect
You just think
example.
they're an alcoholic, don't you? But, you know what I mean? There's other things.
A sommelier.
involved. Yeah.
A sommelier, yeah.
Yeah. So tasting.
He thinks he's
smelling.
posh now.
Yeah. I am posh.
No, he does.
No, it's just a wine taster. A
Only
sommelier.
today though. I'm only today.
Yeah.
But yeah, one of the things I was interested in is how did you come up with this design here? Because that's got like a Rolls Royce type look.
So the name is Notorium, which is Latin for notorious, and on the box, I mean, Paul's got the box. It's got a picture of the Colosseum of Rome on it.
Right.
So the inspiration, I'm obsessed with the Roman Empire. The inspiration behind that was like a Roman banquet. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right.
Yeah, like the staffs and things they used to hold with the.
Yeah, so like, you know,
Yeah.
a big Roman spread, warm,
Yeah.
rich, inviting. And that the eagle, and the same with the eagle on the front, which is my logo. Logo is the Roman eagle, and that's the Arabian eagle, is the cap, which is a symbol of the Middle East, which is where it's made. So I've kind of gone for combining two ideas to reflect it's a Middle Eastern fragrance, but to also reflect what I went with originally, which is reflected in the packaging. And if any of you want to smell that, by the way, you're more than welcome to go for it. I know
Yeah.
Josh has got some.
Nice.
Yeah.
Genuinely very nice.
It's a gourmand.
Can you open it? Because I don't want to break it. You know what I'm like. I'm very heavy on it. I
Fucking
don't
old
mind
sausage
picking it
fingers
up.
over
I'll
there.
give it Go and have a little spray.
Oh, let me have a look at the front.
Sick, innit? Spraying his eyes.
That's really good,
Do you want
man.
spray? Where would you like it?
Look.
On his hand.
You still sprayed?
Waft it a bit, let it settle.
Yeah, that's nice.
There's just no helping some people at all, is there?
Don't say something.
It's really nice.
Don't say something.
Cheers, man.
Don't say something. I'm my own person. I'm my own goddamn
Entity.
Fuck here now. No, it's really nice, that, mate. Really nice. So how long did it take you to actually come up with that scent itself?
9 months.
9 months.
There was a lot of back and forth and
More than I care to admit.
like testing and sampling and
Yeah.
going, that's not.
There was a lot. Yeah, it was. So because of the quarter that it fell in, it was Q4 when it was going to be released, which is the latest part of the year.
Yeah.
Everything's firing because of Christmas. I faced a lot of delays with it as well. So to actually finish the complete process took us about 11 months. But to come up with everything as it is now, 9 months in total. That's the scent.
Wow.
The bottle, so I'm responsible for everything on that. Obviously, I didn't mix the perfume myself. You know, perfumers did that, but the scent, the bottle, the packaging, and then obviously into the production and import side of things. It took us about 9 months in total, yeah.
Fucking hell.
And how much would these, like this perfume-sized bottle now, as it were, how much would that sell for now?
So that's $48.99
Yeah.
retail price, and it's 100 mils. But yeah, so I'm
really good.
I've got a new one in the process. So the way I'm taking the business is I'm going to specialize in dupes as well. So I'm going to make my own ones because that's what I recommend. I mean, I feel like I've got to practice at least what I preach. And so I'm going to try and make even a more affordable and accessible line as well for that.
It's a good idea.
Yeah. So for people that don't actually know what you've just said, as in, was it dupes? Was
Dupes,
it?
yeah.
Yeah. Explain, i.e. me as well. Explain that one actually means.
Doesn't know what you want to
I don't, like I say, I don't wear after.
I don't as well. So I have watched like loads of videos, and I didn't know how many fragrances out there, cheaper fragrances, are actually like dupes of the more expensive fragrances. But I've heard of that. But do that, explain what they are, but also explain the legalities around like how does it sort of work? Because obviously some of them are pretty similar in their.
Some of them bang on, mate.
Yeah, some of them are fucking like quality as well. So yeah. Go on.
There you go. So a dupe is essentially, so Paul's wearing Dior Sauvage Elixir now. Now the 100ml bottle of that's going to set you back 189 quid.
Right.
So a dupe is literally a copy.
Right.
Like a
okay,
fake Gucci
yeah.
shirt or something like that. It's just a copy of it, that's all it
Right,
is.
okay.
And the legality surrounding that is it's completely legal. You can't copyright the way something smells.
Okay.
Wow.
There are certain loopholes though, so in order to protect, so if I wanted that to be fully protected under law worldwide, I'd have to disclose the formula, and that's the same with any brand. Now, Christian Dior will not disclose their formula because that's worth a lot more than any losses that they take on dupe companies. Yeah.
Because people still buy Dior because it's Dior.
They'll buy it because of the brand name, yeah.
Because I've worn like perfume aftershaves and
Perfumes.
But
Hey, secrets out.
I've worn aftershaves and people have gone, is that this? I'm like, no,
Yeah.
it's this. So it's
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like that one that you got me for Christmas.
Yeah, that was his recommendation.
Yeah,
It's one of his.
Lazaro.
Azoro Most Wanted.
Sorry, most wanted.
Amazing fragrance.
Loads of
Sick,
people
mate.
love that.
Yeah, it's naughty.
I'd never heard of it before.
Loads of people love it. Yeah.
Until he's seen it, and that was one of the
Turn
first.
your fucking phone on silent. Turn it on silent.
Sounds like a fucking
You
microwave.
can
I'm
edit it
getting
out.
hungry
Yeah,
here.
turn it on silent. You can edit it out.
That was one of the first fragrances that I bought off his
sick.
recommendation.
It's well nice. It's
You
dead strong.
recommended
It
it,
lasts as well.
and I went out and smelt it, and I was
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, that's really good, really,
Good
really good."
fragrance. I like
Yeah,
it.
it's mint. This is part of the part of the reason why I love doing what I'm doing. To be fair, so I had a guy ask me in a live stream the other day. So, lad, I'm going around this bird's house. What's a fragrance she's defo going to love?
Yeah.
I said, what have you got? So he told me what he got, and I picked one for him. I said, I can tell you that women love that DNA of
Yeah.
a fragrance. And he coming to me live the next day, and he's like, all I'm saying is it definitely worked. And I'm like, bruh, let's go.
Someone came over with stinky fingers.
This is what's up, man. Put me phone on
But
silent.
it's mad. I like
Yeah.
fragrances, and because some people like some fragrances, I'll smell them and like instant headache. Like
Yeah,
it just
yeah.
doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
And like, I know loads of other people that like they'll have a fragrance like I can't do that. It doesn't work for me. But then other fragrances, like or just like Sauvage is just one that just worked for ages, and I know
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
become super popular. But like women go, loads of women love Sauvage.
Yeah, it's
And then-
popular for a reason.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's obviously it does something to people's fucking, I don't know.
Subconscious.
Do you know what I mean? Some people just love that fragrance.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
just forget the standards.
Like alcohol. That's the same effect as alcohol.
But some women are like they'll put on like fucking profile. I love this fragrance.
Yeah, they
on a
do.
man, and they'll end up buying it for the man.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
The thing a lot of people don't realise is the scent, the olfactory setting in the brain, which is responsible for scent identity and stuff. It's one of the most powerful senses we've actually got as a human.
Yeah.
It goes a very, very long way. So people, when you think of your senses, you think of your touch, your eyes, your hearing. People never really think about the way something smells, do they? But it's the olfactory setting in the brain, the way that your brain's wired. It's one of the most powerful senses we've got in terms of memory and then in terms of emotional connections as well. So like, as an example, say you're in the gym and a bird walks past you and she smells you, you're forever then in that girl's brain as that guy that smells nice. Now, I'd rather start off on that foot rather than being that
Have you ever
smelly
smelt
bastard
him when
in
he
the
comes
gym.
to the gym?
It smells beautiful.
Yeah, the only problem is there's no fucking women here. He's just got loads
all
of,
the men.
He's just got loads of guys
So they go, "Oh, what
sliding into his
recommend?"
DMs.
Fucking hell.
I'll take it, man.
So what would be your advice to anyone that's sat there thinking, I have a side hustle and I would love to go down the same route, but I don't know where to start, I don't know how to do it. What would your advice be to someone that's potentially watching this that wants to go down the same route?
Do it and be consistent. I think I'm a firm believer that consistency is the key to anything in life. Like, Bryn's fucking huge, his forearms the size of my calf. You don't get that from not being consistent. Not even kidding, they probably are.
So it's a bit bigger. I'm only kidding.
Just don't grow, man.
I'm only kidding.
But yeah, consistency. I'd say just do it. I mean, no business is immediately going to start flying. You know, everything gets off to a slow start. Just be consistent with what it is that you want to do. And of course, it always helps if you're passionate about what it is you're going into business about. If you're going into any business that you know it's half-arsed and you're just trying to make money out of it, I firmly believe that it's not going to be as effective as it would be if you were passionate about what it is. You know what I
I
mean?
believe that. You'd have a level of success
Yeah.
because you're doing a business, you're going through the brand, but I don't think you would then elevate it to that next level.
No, 100%. It's like it's like the gym, for example. You know, if you weren't passionate about fitness, you wouldn't give a shit about what kit to get. But the kit is ultimately what's going to get new customers in.
Exactly, yeah.
You know, word of mouth and stuff like that. So I'm a firm believer that consistency is the catalyst to cracking life. To be honest.
So one of the things I noticed about, obviously, your as you built your TikTok up was, and it comes right back to what you were saying, was the consistency. So your videos are you're very consistent with your content. Just as a rough idea, how many hours a week would you say you dedicate to filming your content?
That's tough, man. I'd probably say 2 hours a day. So about 14, something like that.
Yeah.
But I will. So in my draft folder, I've got a lot of videos that are ready to publish. So I try and film ahead as well.
Yeah.
And you know, sometimes I'll film a video and think, yeah, that's good. I'll watch it back, say a couple of days later, and think, I'm not posting that. It's not really good enough. So I'd probably say about 14 hours. It wasn't always like that though. At the start, obviously, it was much less. But of course, the more you elevate, the more
Yeah.
you've got to put.
So is that what you kind of do now? You'll record like, say you'll sit down and do like an hour's worth of content, and then you'll then go through it and watch it and this and the other. You're not just doing it off the bat. You actually put in, you're treating it like a job now, I suppose.
Yeah, pretty much.
And saying, right, this morning I got 2 hours. I'm going to record, 15 episodes today back to back. You've got your thing, and do you plan out?
Yeah. So generally speaking, yeah. There's some videos I will film and then post immediately. So like when I went to France to buy a perfume, it's to buy a new Jean Paul Gaultier. It's not available in the UK yet. So as soon as I got back, that was literally filmed, boom, posted.
Yeah.
But general content, so like your top 5 oud fragrances, I'll film all that in bulk. Well, I do as many as I can, to be fair.
Oh, excellent. Okay. So yeah, consistency is key.
That's good.
Great.
Like
Anything else you want to ask, Josh?
No.
Anything you want to ask?
You've been good. No, honestly,
Yeah, tell me that.
you've like spoke a lot. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, confident in front of everything.
Yeah.
So like some people, you have to prompt them more. Whereas you've explained a lot. Do you know what I mean? So I only had that one. I like the fact that you know so much about the fragrances. Like it's not just like it's your hustle. Like you actually have invested time into yourself and into what you do and what you love. And obviously, it shows. Like you're not going to be successful if you're just fucking namby-pamby with what you're doing. Like, do you know what I mean? Like you take time and care, and obviously you fucking bringing out fragrances, and I'm sure you're going to be rivaling the best of the best.
Hopefully, mate.
Very, very
Hopefully
soon.
one day. That's
With that smell
the
fucking
goal, man. That's the dream.
Bryn, anything you want to add?
Yeah, so to answer that for Josh, basically, no, you haven't got any more questions. So, cheers. I was trying to, but yeah, so on this, like speaking for someone that doesn't really, go for fragrances and stuff like that, I'm obviously just
It just smears piss all over his body.
You smell that piss.
Fuck off.
But yeah, so like, obviously I'm just more spray, fucking out of the shower, ready to.
He's more washed his entire body with Barbara soap. That's his grooming routine. And a bit of Lynx Africa.
No. But yeah, anyway, is there different sort of strengths as well of fragrances? So what I mean is, I don't really go out now, but sort of when I have been out in the past, I walk past some people and it's like, oh, yeah, a little cheeky. And then I walk past some people and I think, fucking hell, mate, have you had a bath in that? Do you know what I mean? Quite literally. And it's like, for me, it's like they genuinely have had a wash in it, but it's like if they just sprayed themselves a little bit, and obviously because it's stronger, does that show anything on sort of expense, or is it just you can get cheap ones that are really strong? And
So there's multiple factors. So you do get different concentrations. So you get eau de cologne, eau fraîche, eau de toilette, eau de parfum, and an extrait. But it can also boil down to aroma chemicals. So aroma chemicals that are like vanillin, which is like a vanilla aroma chemical.
Right.
It gives you a vanilla scent. They're usually very thick and heavy.
Yeah.
And for them to dissipate, it usually takes quite a while.
Right.
So things that are built on like oud and vanilla, toffee, roses, they're usually quite thick and they are strong.
Not like Tom Fords and
So like Black Orchid.
yeah.
So that's built on, I think truffles is the main notes in there, and earthy tones. Generally speaking, they are very strong aroma chemicals. So you put that on, they will last on your skin for a long time. And then it can be a question of skin chemistry. So obviously your skin's got its own pH level.
Right.
Your skin will react very well with some fragrances compared to others. So like Paul could put one on and get 12 hours performance, whereas I could put it on and get 6 hours. Same fragrance, same sprays, it's just it reacts really well with Paul's skin chemistry.
Right.
So there's multiple factors, to be fair, but I mean, in short, because I was blabbing a bit, there are some fucking beast mode fragrances out there.
Right.
Some really, really strong ones.
Yeah.
Like one spray's plenty, and then, you know what I mean, you're filling the room up.
Yeah, sweet. Yeah. No, I'm happy. I've just genuinely.
You've learned something today.
I have.
Yeah.
That's the
Genuinely.
thing. I have
Your brain
genuinely learned
ticking over.
something.
Yeah.
I have.
See it ticking.
This has been very beneficial.
I like learning new things.
I've learned loads. I have.
I like learning new things.
Yeah.
Genuinely.
It's just a giant
Like,
baby.
no, because, like, yeah, exactly, yeah, giant baby. No, because what it is normally, like, out on the street, stuff like that, you speak to people and they genuinely haven't got a fucking clue.
No,
They
they
chat
don't.
pure shit. Like, oh, I like you just said. I know about Tom Ford. I know all the big brands like your Armani,
Yeah.
your Dior's, all that shit, but you've just said about 5 different things I've never even heard. I didn't even know they were words. Do you know what I mean? And now you. So, do you know what I mean? For you to whack all them out, and then I'm still getting over it's been made in the Middle East, to be honest, mate. Do you know what I mean? So they're fucking doing everything they are, aren't
Exactly.
they? Literally doing everything.
Yeah.
Mate, the
Future.
Middle East is the centre of the world. Yeah, it's the
future.
centre of the world, mate. It's going to be the
future.
centre of the world. They're not afraid to invest money. Them boys aren't over there.
No, they spend money to make money. They know they
Yeah.
get it back. Look after.
Got to respect the hustle.
Exactly. They look after the people. They make sure that everyone's is benefiting, and in turn they benefit. It's the way it should be.
New money mentality. Whereas we had old
Exactly.
money mentality in this country.
Yeah.
It's already done, so we don't need to do it. Whereas they're like, we're going to do it regardless. I like that.
But yeah, it's been good. Thank you very much for coming on.
Yeah,
So
cheers for having me, lads.
what we will do is we will put your socials up, your YouTube channel, your TikTok, your Instagram. We'll put them up on the screen. Ice Gem will do it for you. Hopefully you'll get some followers and vice versa. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you on.
Sick, man.
Josh, what's everyone need to do?
Like, comment, and subscribe. Peace.